Last season, we finished in second place for the first time in 6 years. This year, we're expected to finish in 5th place and be a comfortable side looking to fight for Europe again. We've got the 5th biggest sponsorship in the entire league. Surprisingly, TSC been above us, but eventually I think we'll be able to overtake them sooner rather than later. We still have Monaco as a parent club, but I'm looking to change that at some point. But Broderick, we lost, so we're going to have to find a new affiliate sooner rather than later. Nidra, we're going to try and help out quite quickly, as well as the other affiliates we have. If we can get as many as one of these affiliates promoted this season, then I think we've done a very good job ourselves, and it will provide us with good places to send our players in the future. And yes, the Broderick link being terminated is official as per this message here. We have 7.76 million in the bank, and we've got a good hierarchy, even if Rakitic is about to leave us in June. So, what can we do in that regards? And let's see how we do. But here we are now at the winter break for the 16th season of the save. We have got 2 centre-backs, a centre midfielder, a striker, and a DM, and maybe a fullback that looks promising. We've got a goalkeeper, apparently it looks like we're lacking quality, but we just got 1 goalkeeper. But who knows what that might be leading us down the line. So, we started the season with a 2-0 win against Red Star. And this is probably the hardest start I've ever had. Wolfsburg, we then lost 1-0 away from home. Before we beat Stancombe 2-0. Before we beat Versailles 2-0 in the first leg of the Champions League third qualifying round. Before Sparta Subotica of all teams beat us 1-0. We then went to Ukraine and won 3-0 in the second leg. Before Partizan beat us 2-0. And then we lost to Sturm Graz in the first leg of the Champions League. We then only got a 1-0 draw against TSC. Before losing to Sturm Graz again, losing 2-0 overall, to knock us out of the Champions League playoffs, to knock us down to the Europa League. Our last game of August was against Novi Pazar, and I'm going to be honest with you, at one point, we started getting told that we could be in danger of losing our jobs because of how bad the start was. But we started playing games, and Marades Latino we only drew 0-0 against before we took on Real Sociedad and drew 3-3 after almost losing the game twice. So, this was mental. We then decided to turn up and become amazingly good. We won 3-1 against Nepadak. We then won 1-0 twice against Kulabar and then Metalek. We then went and hosted our Hungarian opponents, Gurai ETO, before we beat Broderick by 4-0. Beljak getting a hat-trick, so the youngster is doing quite well for himself here. Berserk we beat 3-1. We then beat Genoa, the other team of the group. So yes, our group is Real Sociedad, Goyo, and Genoa. Before we won 3-0 against Satovic. Before we then won 3-0 again, this time in the Serbian Cup. We then took a Red Star in the league, before Genoa beat us 2-0 at their ground. And Sociedad were probably the best team in the group, but Genoa probably the second best. Wolfsburg would then beat 3-0 at our ground, our first win against them in a very long time. Kukuiki Stancombe, we beat them by 0-0. Before Gurai, of all teams, decided they can actually get a point off us and drew 1-0 against us. Before Sparta Subotica held us to a 1-0 draw again. We then lost to Novi Pazar on penalties in the cup, before Partizan beat us 4-0 in the league. And then we beat Sociedad 2-1 in the Europa League, before we won the last 2 games of the Can of the Year, 1-0 and 4-0 against TSC and Reniki Nis respectively. So, how did we do in Europe in that group? So, gonna be honest with you, did not see this coming. We topped the group. Because of that draw in the first game of the group and the victory in the last game of the group, we effectively won the group due to results between teams. Genoa lost their first 3 matches before they beat us in the 4th game and then won their last game, while Gurai won the first game of the group, beating Genoa, and then didn't win at all afterwards. So, we're in the second knockout round of the Europa League. Hopefully we get a good tie. And who knows? Maybe, just maybe, we could be very excited by the draw we get. The league, though, is looking a bit special. We're still not amazing, but we're in 3rd place. And given we lost 3 of our first 5 league matches, this is a great recovery. We only lost twice in the last 16 games since, and they're against some rather good teams, you'd think. Red Star and Partizan, you know, the big teams. Partizan and Wolfsburg, I'm not surprised about losing against, neither against Red Star, but the Sparta Subotica one surprised me, but then I realised they're also in the top 5, so I've lost to the teams around me in the league. It's not ideal to say the least. We couldn't beat Sparta Subotica either. do we do well in the next part of the season? Let's find out. So we're back on the 7th of March, and that's because we got a youth intake, and I'm excited to show you guys this intake. But I'm also really excited to show the League 4 we've had since we last met, because we've won every game. 6 wins on the bounce. Partizan we beat 2-1. Lucina we beat 4-0. Napatat we beat by goal to 0. We beat Klabar 2-0. Metanet 4-2, and Bodarek 5-0. We're looking really good in the league, and I think right now we're looking like a team that should challenge for the title, maybe? This is the kind of winner break form that Partizan had last year, and I'm happy with replicating it right now. You can also see who we have in the Europa League, second knockout round, and it's Familisao, so it's a very exciting time that we've got Familisao in the Europa League, second knockout round, and it could have been much worse. Look at the league though, we're now actually in second place, 6 points behind Partizan, 3 points later Red Star, and our end of season form and our post-winter break form has been amazing. So it goes to show just what 6 wins in a row can do for you. But I want to show you the youth intake, and I think I might have just had the best centre-back to come through my system in a very long time, if not ever, in the save. And when I say best centre-back ever, I mean right off the bat. We've got a 3.5-star current ability player. I'm going to show you Dragan Lekic. So, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on this right now, right here, right now, because you're literally seeing this guy for the first time. Is this the best 15-year-old I've ever had come from my youth intakes? I had an amazing centre-back many moons ago with Siena, for Delelande to be precise, and this guy might be up there with him in terms of current ability. Issue is this, and I'm going to show you this, because I've already done the deal. I can do this right now, but he automatically locks in that release clause of 950,000. I am going to lose this guy as soon as he turns either 17 or 18. It doesn't matter when. I just know that as soon as people become aware of him, I'm losing him. There's no question about it. The guy's a monster, and I'm losing him for the cheap, and it sucks. But yes, Dragan Lekic, is he the best 15-year-old centre-back to ever come through my youth intake? I want to hear your comments and opinions down below, because let's be honest, I want to know if he is. Fun fact though, we do have another centre-back anyway. He's also promising, which says a lot, but Miodrag Halilovic is quite good as well. Doesn't have the attributes I'm looking for. Isn't as good as Lekic, because, well, let's be honest, I don't think you can blame him for that. He's also a 2-star current ability player in the centre-back position anyway. So, yeah, okay, 1.5-star, but he's quite good. He could also play as a wing-back on attack. Yeah, this guy could be a centre-back and a wing-back. He's quite useful. Could be a wide centre-back. Ooh, I haven't tried one of those right now, but yeah, this guy is quite exciting, and we have options right now. I wouldn't play him there because I've got this guy at the moment in Danjan Pananovic. Is quite exciting as a left-back. Could be better, but wing-back on attack, that's what I use. He's got a lot of the things I want, and that says a lot. So, exciting to say the least. Just a shame he's only got one determination and he's easy to discourage. I need to give him a confidence boost, and quickly. We also have a striker with low determination, and Milan Masterovic is quite good. Advanced forward, good finishing, good composure. Definitely feels like advanced forward, this guy, unlike the other guy. And actually, Beljak is still quite good. Fun fact, Beljak, I'm going to show you here now, could be a top flight player sooner or later. That's the kind of player I'm guessing right now. And between him and Masterovic is quite good. So, exciting times to say the least. We also had a third defender, and yeah, I'm literally saying this is a really good defender because Milakola is also a 5-star potential player. So, okay, he's only a 3rd-tier player, but he's got the potential. That's what I'm looking for. He's got the jumping reach, got the bravery, got the tackling, just needs to work on his marking and his heading, and his pace, and his positioning, but other than that, he's quite good. We also have another goalkeeper, and apparently we're goalkeeping one Liquid Factory, so there you go. And yours, Gajek, is quite good. So, again, spirited though. Not sure how good or bad it is, but it's good to see that we're producing some really good talent. Now, I'm actually showing you a 4.5-star player in Boja Ivankovic, and I think he could be a good playmaker. Now, I know what you're thinking, doesn't look the best in the world, but he's promising. He's got good determination, good decisions, good first touch, good free kicks, decent passing, good positioning. Yeah, he's not perfect, but let's be honest, who is at 15? This guy is still quite good. I say who is at 15. I mean, Ilitch is probably the best I've ever seen at 15, but there you go. Either way, this guy is quite good. Last person I'm going to show you is Alexander Ilitch, and I think he's got potential. I know what you're thinking. No, he's not a Mazzala or box-to-box. I know that, but I can make him into one of those. The passing, the first touch, the vision. He could be a Mazzala, absolutely. Just needs to work his other things and we can work with that. So we're back and we won both legs against Familisal in the Europa League second knockout rounds to win the quarterfinals of a European competition. Hooray! We did also win 4-0 against Partizan and 2-1 against Lenica before we beat Renicki's 1-0, before we beat Leicester 1-0 at their ground. Yeah, that's a thing that's happened. Unfortunately, we didn't do well in the second leg. We lost 1-0 and then lost on penalties to them. And Partizan beat us 3-0 in between that. But at the end of the season, we did quite well. Sparta Sabotica, we beat 3-0. We drew the next two games against Cordoba 2-2, coming from behind twice. And Red Star, we drew 0-0 before we beat Metalek 4-1 and Kekoki Stonecombe 2-1 before Vustovic drew 1-0 against us. So, how do we do in the league? Ladies and gentlemen, we have finished in second place with a record highest points tally. Now, we are still 10 points behind Partizan, but considering that last year we finished 20 points behind them, that's an improvement. We gained 9 more points, they dropped by a point, so 10 points is. Red Star also gained 5 more points, but we just, did quite well this year. Shows you that what we can do when we put a minus to it. And I now genuinely believe we have a good enough team to challenge for the title. And the fact we got to the quarterfinal of the Europa League and beat Leicester, an English team, in Europe, that tells me we've got opportunities right now. And that's very, very exciting to say the least. But yes, let's look at the season review now and just show you all these things that happened. So we did let a few players out go. And yes, Rakitic went to Avajika. I don't think they got promoted, but he did okay. 2 goals, 9 assists. It's good to see him actually performing and still playing. We let go of a few other players as well that we just weren't using. But we used the loan market to our advantage. Popovic got 23 goals in the Hungarian second division, and I think got his team promoted. So exciting, isn't it, that we can do that? We did get a new affiliate. I'm going to show you them now. We got this team, Sonika, as an affiliate. I just look at their facilities, and you can see why I look at them and think, good team. Good, and excellent. Exciting there. The affiliates we do have is here, and yeah, we are getting players from their academy. But Besiktas also have them as well, and also taking players from their academy. So maybe I'm competing with Besiktas there, so who knows. But yes, we are looking good, and the fact we got second place, and we're told to just get top of half is very good. Yeah, we only got 7 points in the first 6 games, was not ideal. We then just started winning all the time, and this run of form here, between December and April, is ridiculous. The Partizan game was the only defeat we had since the other game they beat us by. So yeah, Partizan beat us 3 times. That's where 9 points have gone. If we don't lose to Partizan, we are potentially winning the league. So that's the thing we need to work on. Stone Graz beating us home and away in the playoffs was not ideal, but we can definitely work on that. But yeah, we're back in the Champions League next year again anyway. Quarterfinals to Leicester? I think that's a good season, all things considered. We did really well for the coefficients as well. We got 20 points in the coefficients for the club thing. And yeah, the cup we need to work on. We need to stop losing the cup. Like, I want to win the domestic cup one day. Oh, also, who the team that's going to win that is hilarious. I'm going to tell you who now. But yeah, it's because we win 5-0. The match, remember the 3-3. I mean, look at this. 1-0 Sociedad. We then make it 2-1 before halftime. They get 2 goals in about 3 minutes. Then we make it 3-3 later in the same, about 5 minutes after they get the goal to make it 3-2. And that was fun. Petrovic got the goal of the season with this effort here. I'm going to show you this goal now. So, prepare to be admiring a goal. This is the goal that makes it, I think, 4-2. It's 4-2. Petrovic scores this effort. Top corner. Beautiful finish. I think you can see why that's goal of the season. Don't you? Yeah, it was the goal to make it 4-2. And hooray for that. We're looking like we can win games again. Isn't it wonderful? Finances. I mean, you can see where we're making our money. Prize money. We made 13 million. And I haven't shown you this yet, but we are making quite good enrollments into the bank. And hooray for that. Still a 3-star team though. we're making about 350 grand a year in merchandise, and we're selling over almost 5,400 shirts. But again, we're doing okay there. How we lined up was this. The fact that Konatar is a weak link here, and he got a 6.69 average rating. I think it tells you everything you need to know. We're having that problem again where the left winger is not doing so great. But I also rotated a lot this season. So it's a problem we need to work on and fix. And I think this team is feeling more and more complete this year. It really does. Also, Ilitch is playing as midfielder now because I genuinely think he's good enough for the role now. He's actually become ridiculous, even if he's a natural centre-back as well. So it's good times to say the least. Player awards. Satovic gets the Player of the Season award, but Musija gets the Younger Player of the Season award. Petrovic gets the Goal of the Season. Veselinovic is actually the top goal scorer of 14 goals as a winger. Musija, who I've turned into a right back, got 13 assists this year. Satovic got the most player of the matches and highest average rating again, but only a 7.2. 109 passes per 90 by Cologne was good. But Vukovic got 26 clean sheets. Militic is now the official top goal scorer of all time with 134 goals. And Petrovic scored inside 18 seconds in this season. I think that's a good season for us. But yeah, as expectations, it's kind of the same as last year. But the big but is, after this season that's coming up, they want me to become the best of the rest. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions down below. Should I continue after this season? I'm thinking about continuing on. Mostly because I just got that amazing centre-back. I want to see if we lose him or not. Very excited. It's very good times ahead. And so we are back. And Broderick and Partizan have won the playoffs. So Broderick are staying up a year after we helped them get promoted through our affiliate. So good to see them do well. Just one thing you need to note here is the fact that Napadak have qualified for the Europa League, but Red Star haven't. Napadak beat Red Star in the cup final of all things. So Red Star literally had it in their hands. All they needed to do was win this game and they would be in the Europa League without having to worry about someone else taking it from them. But no, they lost. And so they've missed out on the Europa League. And they're in the Europa Conference League instead. So the teams that are going up are Fofadina and FK Rad along with Partizan. So those are the three teams going up this year. In the European finals, the Europa Conference League, we have seen Bilbao beat Lazio in the final, which I thought was quite interesting to say the least. In the Europa League final, we saw AC Milan lose to Bayer Leverkusen in the final 2 years after Liverpool were in this final themselves. Leicester were knocked out by Milan to get to the final, and Milan just failed in the final stage, so awkward for them. And in the Champions League final, Liverpool win the Champions League for the first time since 2024. By beating City on penalties. And to think, RB Leipzig won the Champions League final last year, but were knocked out in the group stage and failed to even get to the Europa League final. So, I want to show you my loans, and we've made a lot of loans out this year, and a lot of them did quite well. 2 of our affiliates got promoted. The first of which was the team in Hungary. They won the league. Marko Popovic scored 22 goals in the league, and might have just earned himself a spot in our first team, or I'm hoping long term that he can go on loan it to them again if we can't fit him into our first team this year. But good to see them do well. The other team to get promoted is Latitnovec, and they went up after 2 of our players got double figures for goals in the league. So again, really good to see them do well, and we had a lot of players out on loan to them, so it's good to see them progressing and doing quite nice for themselves. It's just good to see our affiliates actually get promoted. This means now we've had 3 affiliates get promoted in the last 2 seasons. It's very promising that we can do that with our loan players now. It really is. Financially, we're looking very good. 20.6 million. I'd like to be able to make a request to improve the youth facilities. Once we can do that, I think would be good. We can't get another affiliate right now because the board will not let me do so, but that's fine. And given the money we have and everything else, I think we're perfectly content with this. If we can keep making this much money every year through European football, then we're really, really promising. And in fact, we've been given a massive budget and our wages are almost 10 times what they were before. So we are in a very good position right now in regards to that. And this is what our potential looks like right now. It's a sight to behold, isn't it? And this is also with all 3 teams like filtered in and out. Under 19s, reserves, and senior squad. And most of them are not out of the senior squad either, so it's a good sign to say the least. Vukotic is our #1 goalkeeper. He actually got second place in the Next Gen Award, which I thought was pretty cool. The fact we've actually managed to get a player in the Next Gen Award is pretty good. And actually, it's these awards, all the world awards, that we're going to be using to potentially choose the next nation for next year. So where the team comes from is where we'll be choosing. Like what club and what country they come from is how we could be choosing our next Youth Academy Challenge save. But Vukotic got second place, so officially we have produced a player that's good enough to make second place at the age of 18 in this save. Dragoslav has also still quite good, still developing. He's good enough to be in the first tier, but I might need to give him a loan spell next year just to give him first some experience. And Gaidash, again, might be another one of those players that needs first some experience. Don't know how to give it to them without a loan spell, but we also need backup goalkeepers, so we could be in the tight spots here. Ibrahim Musija is now our first choice right back, and remember a couple of years ago when he turned up in that amazing intake where we had like 11 4.5-star plus players in potential? Yeah, he was a right winger, had potential to be in this position. He was actually as accomplished effectively in the right back position. He's now very much knows how to play the role and is perfect for it. He's been outstanding and might be my favourite player to really watch right now because he can get everywhere. We do have Babic as well. We do have Zukovic, I'm going to show later, but Babic is also a player that we can still use every now and again. I haven't really used him. He is wanted for a move in Hungary, but I might just need to give him a loan spell to our Hungarian affiliates if they are willing to take him on. While Zukovic was out on loan in our new Slovakian affiliate in Zenica, they got relegated, so maybe we can work with them and make them our next target for amazing affiliates. We've actually got 2 Slovakian affiliates in the second tier now, so could be interesting. So we had to turn down some big moves for Ilitch to the point we had an £8.25 million bid accepted, and he's still wanted. So he's wanted by Sempoli, Monza, and Partizan. He's got a good release clause, but we had to turn down some big names, Arsenal in fact, and we were able to keep him happy. So very happy with that. The board accepted it. I said no, we can do better. They realized actually, yeah, we can. And I think they accepted the deal because he's only worth 4.4 million at best, but we got almost double his value in an offer, so that's fun. I'm also using Ilitch as a centre midfielder, but he's amazing as a centre back, so says a lot, doesn't it? And then you got Milo Satovic, who is our best goal scorer in centre defence right now. He's actually got 40 league goals for the team at the age of 25 and has got 43 caps for his country. Hasn't scored for them, but he's doing quite well. Also, the fact that Lekic is already considered our third best out-and-out accountability centre-back, and that's including Ilitch, at the age of 15 is ridiculous. But there you go, he's outstanding. I've given him football. I studied him 5 times. He gave me a 7.2 average rating. He's also consistent. I'm going to miss him when he goes. He's worth between 4.4 and 8.4 million, and I have given that contract, which sees that £950,000 release clause in. I'm not happy about it. Hozo is still here as well, and 27 now. He's wanted by Udinese and Huesca, so that's annoying. The worst part is I can actually let some of these players go, and it wouldn't hurt me at all. It says a lot just how much we can do now, doesn't it? And we've also got Murder here as well, and yeah, he's still a good player, 25 years of age now. I don't think he'll get much better, and I don't think I'm really giving him the best opportunities at all. He's only had 10 starts. He scored twice, but I think they're all in the same game. But he's good. He's a weapon as well, and I feel like he's one of those players that just misses out because of all the competition that is here now, and that sucks for him. And when I say we've got a lot of competition, I also mean we've got 2 players out on loan who could be amazing, and this guy's a workhorse who is very much working for his teammates. Ivan Vukotic, he's out on loan at FK Rad. He just got promoted. He's now considered a good enough player to be the top flight. And that's not even talking about Nikolic, who's out on loan in Hungary in that side that just won promotion. So again, 2 promising centre-backs out on loan, gain first in football, gain development time, and it's exciting. We've got so much strength in centre-back, and I think we can legitimately sell a player and not feel the effect. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Left back, we got Milanovic, who again is really useful, good player, loves big matches, very quick, isn't perfect, but he's still good with what I'm looking for, and he's 25, he's been very reliable, and it's very good to see him still do his stuff. We also got Zoltan, who 17 is good enough for the top flight in our backbench stars' minds. I think he could be a star for us. I really do. Just needs to work on a few things, aka his dribbling for what I'm looking for, but he's got a lot of things I like, and he's just amazing for his age. Then we're talking about Colom, and yeah, this guy is still our #1 DM, has been amazing. Still, I think he's the highest paid player at the club as well. I think his wages will not be the highest paid after this season going forward. I think if we can keep in European football every single year, it's really exciting to say the least. And we also got more options as well in the DM position. Jabbering in. Remember when I said I was going to play as a DM and you guys said, no, he's a centre-back? I feel like I'm justifying my decision now, considering all the options we have at centre-back, and this guy wouldn't not be able to get in there. And as a DM, he gets first team football, which is what he's going to need in the future. Ivkovic is the third best option, and we've also got Jacko, who's out on loan. And Jacko has been developing like crazy, playing for FC Nitra, who he started his career from, and was the team that sent him to us. So we've got options here. Olovic is the first choice in the centre midfield role, but Igor Petrovic is not far behind. Okay, he might be far behind in the actual ratings, but he's not far behind in terms of he is pretty much one of my first choice players. He got 12 goals this year, but he was also my penalty taker and scored 8 out of 9 penalties, which tells you just how well he did. He also scored that wonder goal, which again tells you that he's not a bad player. Bazdrovic is pretty much what Dejan Rakitic was last year, but he's actually better, and he's still a good player. He's just got a lot of obstacles in his way, and is a very good utility player to come from the bench. We also got this guy who has been on loan in the second tier for the last 2 years and has gotten both his teams promoted, so he's very good in the second tier. I don't know if he's going to be able to get to the next level yet, if at all, so awkward for his point of view, but he's very good as a utility player in the second tier, I find. And we've also got Nikitovic, who is quite good. He's also a striker, apparently, in the media mind. I don't see striker. I remember you guys mentioning about making him a midfielder, and my mind thought, actually, yeah, he's a midfielder. Why not play him there? So, right wingers. Boban Veselinovic is the top goal scorer for this year, and that was not even a joke, because he actually got 14 goals, and as a winger, Moses Winger did quite well for himself, so I think he's a weapon for us. He really is. He's just very good at getting the areas when we need him to be, forcing off the ball. It's just very good to see that he knows when to make himself available, and that's a really useful thing to have in our team. It really is. Which also makes the next person on the list a bit awkward because he's not as good, and he's older. And Jovanovic, I remember thinking he'll be a superstar. No longer feels that way, and that says a lot. Especially when we got this guy on the bench as well, potentially being able to come in and say, I can do this, I can do this. Not as quick, but he offers something different. He's got agility and balance, and he's also set-piece master, so he's also 16. Konatar is now our first choice left winger, who I'm playing as an inverted winger on support, but he's really useful, and he's like a mid-table player at this point, and it's very good to have someone like him around. It just makes Vuk's decline in the team a bit disappointing because he's let me down a lot. He only got 1 goal this year, 1 assist, but I also kind of started phasing him out of the team because I realized he was no longer really good enough for the team. I could see him leaving. In fact, I think he wants to leave. He actually asked to leave because he wants a new challenge. I might sell him for less than 250,000, which was the initial thing. I just don't see him being the first team next year. I really don't. And if he is, he's going to be going just like Dajkovic is, because Dajkovic is already leaving us for Germany. Yeah, he's gone to Germany. Mannheim has asked for him, and he's in the third tier of German football next year with him. Marko Josipovic is still around. I think I'm probably going to make him an option next year, like one of the very many options I can play. Got a loan spell. He needs a first in football. And then you also got this guy who could also potentially come in and just be a nuisance. So we've got options, not very good options, but options either way. Then we've got Miletic, who only got 8 goals and 4 assists last year in the top flight. And for him, that's a pretty bad season. And he was just very questionable at times. He was better in the Europa League than anything else this year because he just was there able to assist his teammates who were making the runs. So I think his role's changed a little bit, but that's awkward to say the least. And you got Beljak, who's just getting better and better. He's exciting. I like him. I mean, hopefully he can do more and more. But Markovic, I might be selling, I've decided, and I don't like the fact I can think out loud that I can sell this guy. And I say that he actually got more goals than Milicic this year in the league, but I don't know. I just don't know what I want for my striker. I think striker's my one weakness now, and that says a lot that my strike force is probably my weakest part of my team outside my fullbacks. And it's weird that I can say that, but I think everywhere else I've got at least great strength and depth. Especially when we got Popovic just doing what he did last year and now potentially good enough for the top flight and getting 20 goals in the Hungarian second tier. It's weird. He got 30 goal contributions last year and he was just amazing. So do I just give him a chance? The first team this year. But anyway, I'm going to end this here. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you guys will like and share this video and that you subscribe to the channel. It really does help me a lot. What do you think of our intake and what do you think of the options I have for next year? And do you think I should be concerned for potentially what's going to happen in the future? I want to hear your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you think we can finally win the league? Because we actually are looking quite good in predictions. We're now the 4th best team on paper. And for me, that feels like a title contending side. What do you think? But either way, until next time, bye, and well, good night.